Good morning or good early afternoon to you, wherever you might be. Back in Englewood this morning. Back in Englewood. Hello, how are you? Good morning. Antonio, good morning. How are you? Good to see you, Antonio. Aurora. Hey, girlfriend. Shits and giggles. Brandon, how are you? There's an Irish rover. My favorite roving Irishman. Hope you guys are well this morning. We're back in Englewood. Hello from Virginia. Hi, Lonnie. David, good morning. Razor. I'm out of O'Neill's cage. Oh, you guys, it was funny. It was funny. Lenny, good morning. Bokomo, there you are. Awesome. Thank you very much for being in here. Nobody, what's happening? Alexis, good morning. Water Otter. Yeah, fuck O'Neill. Oh, you guys, I got a great story. You saw half of it. You didn't see the other half of it. Woody, how are you this morning? I'm good, David. I'm very good, Mr. Broden. I'm fresh out of jail. 7.5 hours after a PR bond was granted by the judge, after I went to jail with a $750 bond before I even got to jail. And lo and behold, that bond could never get posted between the hours of 9 p.m. and never. I had to sit in jail all night because my husband went to bond me out, and the sheriff's crew said, nope, bonding office is closed and she's not going anywhere tonight. Come back tomorrow. Shit you not, you guys. I went in there eligible for a $750 bond before I even went in there. Tink, what's going on? Thank you. Keep praying. My new name is Money, Money, Money. Chris, good to see you this morning. So Shannon is back in Englewood. Oh, you guys, this story has gotten just freaking fantastic. So Shannon's in there by herself because everything's handled. And her public defender, who never showed up the first time, is now back and told her, don't bring that woman with you. because get this, Ian has excused himself from the case. And apparently Englewood has appointed, hired, whatever they did, a new city prosecutor to handle the case. And so Shannon's attorney, her public defender, who couldn't show up to court the first time, made sure to tell her, don't bring that woman with the camera, right? So she's gonna cater to his insecurities, and she's gonna go in there and meet with him. I've given her zero legal advice. We've laughed and joked the whole way here. Shannon, the truth of the matter is, in all seriousness, Shannon holds the strings in this deal. Oh, good morning, guys. Look who's here. Allied Security. Alex was hanging his head, giggling already this morning. Look at him. Hey, Alex. Oh, now you're blowing me kisses. He just frickin' puckered a kiss at me. God damn, you guys just don't get it, do you? Maybe our friend here today does. He might finally be figuring out, don't look at her, don't say a word. I'll let my bro Alex blow her a kiss as he's walking through the door.
Morgan, do you have business here?
Excuse me?
Do you have business here?
And what is my obligation to answer your questions, sir?
Because I can give you, I can call the cops so they can come up there and give you trespassing if you don't.
Oh, really? Oh, this is cool. So I have to have business to come in the building? Where's that policy? Where's that policy?
Reagan, are you supposed to be in the courtroom?
My first name is not Reagan.
Are you supposed to be in the courtroom?
What is my obligation to answer your questions, sir?
Business, please, and thank you. Like, I don't have to do all
Why don't you just call the cops?
I mean, I can. If
Go
that's
do
what
it.
you would like. I'm just asking you to go handle your business.
You don't have to ask me to do shit. What you have to do is learn to keep your mouth shut.
don't
You are
have to
doing
do
really
anything.
good.
I don't have to
You
do
are
anything.
doing
Just like
really,
you can
really
speak, I can
good.
speak as
And
well.
I don't have to
Just like you
declare
can
my
speak, I
business
can
to
speak as
you.
well. Reagan, please go handle your business.
It's Regan.
Go handle your business then. Massa,
This,
thank you. Go
see,
handle your business.
here we go.
Go handle your business.
This might be my business right here all day.
Oh my fucking gosh. You just don't get it, do you? You're just like, what's wrong with you? It's like you're just so angry and evil. Like, just go handle your business. You do not have to stop here to get in my face to do any type of thing. You could have just went to go do what you had to do. But instead, you're standing right here in my face. What are you doing? Like, what is this solving? And then walk. I'll be back here until you're ready to leave, President. You have a good
That's a good place for you.
Yeah.
They love it.
Good morning.
Dwight, how are you? Good to see you.
You're welcome here anytime you want.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
All right.
Nice to see
Do
you.
your job. That's
You too. I really appreciate you. I really do.
God bless.
Thank you.
All right.
Good. How are you this morning? Oh, there's Shannon. Don't worry. I'm not coming in. You're safe. You're safe from the camera. There she is. And it's 9:35, and her attorney apparently is not here. She's due in court at 9:30. Imagine that. I'll be upstairs if you need anything, Shannon. I wonder how much time they have to have today. Any idea? All right, we're gonna go up to the third floor while poor Shannon has to sit there once again and wait for her attorney to not show up. They almost did a good job. But this is what Englewood wants. They want that type of harassment. This is what Englewood's tax dollars are going to pay for, is those two little dumb shits acting like dumb shits. And they get away with that probably with a lot of the population, just not me. EJ 74, how are you? Shirley, how are you this morning? Hey guys, I have not done the unmodding and remodding that we talked about. I'm still going to do that though. These signs are such an eyesore. Doors are locked. Visit customer service. Good morning. Is there somebody available from the clerk's office in regards to a records request that I didn't get a response on? Okay, thank you. No, I just want to find out what's going on with the existing one. There might be some confusion or misunderstanding. So. I am free. I'm free as a bird. Shauna 01, I've never seen you in here. Why'd I get put in jail? You're new here. Well, the reason I got put in jail is because I hurt some cops' feelings again. So my jail stay, I want this documented right off the bat. So medical, their medical procedure there in the jail, it's supposed to ensure that people don't die, right? people that come in with serious health issues are addressed, documented. If people are having withdrawal symptoms from alcohol or drugs, that's all supposed to go through medical, this and that. So right off the bat, I didn't get into medical until almost 2.5 hours after being in booking, okay? So that's notable because if you have something going on and you're sitting in booking for 2.5 hours, you could potentially be dead, but whatever. That's red flag number one. Red flag number two, I get into medical, and of course they start asking questions, and in a manner that's not so friendly, of course, right? Not even looking at me. And so I asked the lady, I said, well, what is the reasoning for those questions? Well, you don't have to answer them if you don't want to. I said, yeah, I understand that. I said, but I want to know why you're asking me these things. Because if you want to know what my medical conditions are, I just told you that I have some serious kidney issues, and you skipped right over that question. You didn't ask me what they were. You didn't ask me how they're being treated or anything. And she just looked at me, and I said, last time I was in here, it was a whole different medical staff. They were way more friendly and understanding and actually wanted to understand what the kidney issues were. And in fact, they gave me a big glass of powdered Gatorade so I had enough electrolytes because they knew that my potential dehydration issues could cause some major problems for me. I said, so what I need from you is a big glass of the Gatorade again. No, we don't have Gatorade. Oh, yeah, you do, because they pulled out the powder right there out of that closet last time and mixed it up for me. You could go out and drink the water at the water fountain. And I got up and I looked at her and I said, boy, you were helpful. And I left. I walked out of medical, but I want you to note that while I was in there, there was a great big sign, probably about this size, on the wall, right in front of my face, that said, Plan B contraception available at request. I shit you not. So I can go into jail, I can go to medical, and get myself a Plan B pill and essentially have an abortion while I'm in jail and possibly require medical treatment, right? But I can't get a glass of Gatorade. Shit you not. True story. So that was one notable piece of my jail stay. There were several other notable pieces, which of course are gonna have to be put down into a complaint, which I plan to do. My last jail stay, by the way, in Denver has been a little over a year. I was there last March, so it was good that I popped back into the Denver County downtown detention facility. Hey, listen, I think it's everybody's civic duty to go to jail. Look, everybody goes to jail for every reason. Like here in Englewood, if you don't comply with code, if you don't mow your lawn, if you don't remove junk cars from your front yard, the police have the authority to come to your home and issue you citations and tell you this and tell you that. And if you don't comply, they're going to come back for you. And if you stand your ground, you're going to go to jail. So look, there's a plethora of issues you can go visit your local jail on. Just pick one. Just pick one. And if you're worried about time or financial planning, I can help you with that. There's a lot of civil disobedience issues that you could take on that really are a wash. Like if you don't want to license your vehicle, you're going to save some money and time there. So if that's your civil disobedience stand, you can go to jail and do your civic duty and see what's going on in your local jail. See what your tax dollars are being used for, and then document it. And then go hold your government accountable on what they're doing to people in jail. Everybody goes to jail. Jail's a joke. And if you don't go to jail, it's because you're an uber, ultra, bootlicking statist. And you don't know how to hurt cops' feelings. And you comply with cops over the threat of going to jail. Are you, Aurora? Well, we got to clear up some of your cases. well, we got to clear up all your cases. So yeah, yesterday or 2 days ago when I was in District 3 filming in the lobby like I am now here in a public building, a public lobby, oh, Mr. Good old boy O'Neill, Sergeant O'Neill, ended up coming out and just capitalizing on this opportunity to put his hands on me. He was loving it. He was absolutely loving it. So if anyone's curious about that arrest, you can go back to my last live stream. From the clerk? No?
Sorry.
That's okay. So the issue here, let me get a little off topic and back up. The issue that I'm trying to address here is that last records request I did, asking for the process that they use to appoint public defenders through the court system. I didn't get a proper response on that. They sent me the process of getting a public defender. That's not the question I asked. So I redefined the request, sent it back, and I haven't heard back. Maybe I missed it. I don't think I did, but if I did, I just would like to hear from the clerk's office. I mean, they could respond right now and just tell me what the process is to choose public defenders to offer up people that are entitled to public defender services. I want to know how they're choosing these people because it appears pretty consistently that these people don't have to pass any vetting. There's no vetting of these public defenders. Apparently the courts just call up some random attorney's offices. They tell me from a list and they say, hey, do you want this case? And then, well, of course they do because it's easy money. And then they don't show up or they send less than competent people. Look, it's a meeting of all the fancy people today. What are we doing here? We're just giggling it up on how to spend other people's money.
Yep. Oh, I guess we could have used the internal.
Prize drop. A stormwater program. Is there any money to be won with your prize drop?
Sorry?
Is there any money to be won? That looks like Plinko. Yeah.
So I talked to Casey. He said, do you have any specific dates that you request? What the date was?
Well, yeah, it's an old records request. It was, I'll tell you exactly what it was. I want the policy and procedures on how public defenders are chosen.
Defenders? Okay.
PDs are chosen to be put on a list for the courts.
Okay.
Now, I got a response to that.
To put on the list for the court?
For the courts, yes, sorry. I got a response to that, but what I got was the policies and procedures on how a public defender is appointed to people.
You want to know how they're appointed?
I do not want to know that. That's the response I got. That's not what I'd asked. I know how they're appointed. I need to know how they're put on a list to be appointed. Yeah. So, yeah, you're busy up here today. Lots of the people with lots of projects. I can't remember what the date was, but it was my last request.
That was, I think you came was it last month?
Oh, no, you weren't here. It was the older gentleman that sits here.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, and so it was 7-10 days ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it's recent. No, it's very recent.
7 to 10 days ago? Okay. Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, I was hoping to go in and talk with those people, please.
I'll go ahead and let
Thank you.
Okay, let me call him back and see if he can pull it up.
Okay. Or you can just come out here and talk to me. That'd be a lot easier.
Well, I think he wants to have the information first.
Okay.
It's a possibility.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go downstairs and come back up. let's go check on Shannon. Okay, so my issue with this public defender thing is, are they vetting these people? What's the vetting process to even be on a list? I mean, they put out proposals all the time to put people on lists for services they contract with here. Why do they just randomly pick public defenders that don't show up, that aren't qualified to handle cases? So my question is, how do they get put on this list that the courts tell me they have? I already asked the courts this question. They have a list that they choose from. So I asked the courts, how did those people get on that list? Well, we don't know. So the courts apparently don't have a response for that. If they don't know how those people are getting on those lists, who does? What are the qualifications to be put on a list as a public defender to suck up taxpayer resources over here in Englewood? What are the requirements? Effing reality. Good morning, my friend. Hey, Johnny Bravo. A boring sandwich. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well. Oh, I hit one. My bad. Well, while we're down here, let's check out the library. Oh, there's another post. Somebody's not at their post. Still not an entrance. Oh, and look, that's moved back. I still feel like that is a problem for an open egress if there was an emergency and people had to come running out this door. That's supposed to be open if this is a fire exit, emergency exit. So back up we go. It's a sunny day out there, you guys. It's very nice. Let's go see if Shannon's public defender is here. I kind of need to know how long I'm going to be here because she needs a ride. And of course, you know, my time isn't nearly as valuable as the court's time. Oh, here's another little interesting tidbit of information, you guys. So, you know, I did a records request on Ian's salary. Ian makes $42 an hour. I was going through some documents, actually just this morning, and I was looking at a list that I'd received in an open records request here in Englewood for the police department. I'd requested the entire police department's salaries, and that's fairly recently, not too long ago. I'm gonna say probably within the last 6 months. The lowest paid cop on that list, oh, are they sending their cleaning bucket? The lowest paid cop on that list, this could be a plant. Am I gonna blow up? Whew, that's sure smelling cinnamony. Wow, I like that cinnamon smell. Is it poison? Whew, it's strong. The lowest paid cop in Englewood makes $48 an hour. True story. There's a guy hovering over Shannon right now. Looks like he just walked in. His bag is slung up over his shoulder. See, they have full reign of her. They have full reign of her. So we'll see how this is going to go. Apparently, they have a new city prosecutor appointed to the case. I mean, I have a right to go in there and watch the public court proceeding, and we'll see how that plays out. If Shannon comes and gets me or whatever. Apparently, this is the guy that couldn't show up the first from Flesh's office, even though Kevin Flesh himself, that attorney, kind of really don't appreciate him hovering over her like that. Why don't you have some professionalism, sit your ass down, or take her into a room where you can sit down at a table? This fucker just got here, and it's 10 o'clock. She's on the docket for 9:30. I don't like the look on her face at all. But she's gonna handle her business. Remember, you can't have Regan supporting her. That's the unauthorized practice of law. Okay? This guy is just strolling in here at 10 o'clock, and she's on the docket for 9:30. This is the shit I'm talking about, Englewood. So let's go back up. Oh, look, we got the little boys back at the podium. Yeah, that's not Flesh. Remember, Flesh himself said that he, on the record, he said that he would be the attorney on the case, and he's not. Apparently, he's sending his guy back over that couldn't show up the first time, and now he's here late at 10 o'clock. Seems to me he should have been here waiting for Shannon. I mean, that would mean you're doing your job. Let's go up, see if they've got an answer on how these public defenders get put on these lists. And then I do have one additional request that I am going to do. Fab Daddy, Ian is an idiot and doesn't know what lawyers making wages know. Ian is an idiot and couldn't cut it in the private sector, so he had to go to work for government. Go ahead.
Hey there, I need to talk to somebody about my liquor license. Yes, that's the name. I can never remember because I don't have to talk to her very often.
Just remember,
Anybody else that can answer a question? I'm sorry? Oh, that's fine. I'll step away from the window. You're not throwing that phone at me.
Let me go ahead and give her a call and see.
Okay.
What's your name?
I'm Skip with Fraternal Order of Eagles.
Skip?
Yep.
Okay, Skip, I will let her know.
And if she'll talk to me, just hand me the phone because it's only going to take about 30 seconds.
Let me see if I can give you her.
Or somebody else in here could probably answer the same question. I've held the liquor license for this bar for several years and I'm no longer there. So I'm not going to be responsible for an idiot. All right, well, you got somebody else here.
I've been waiting as well, and I thought I would just let you handle your business and then follow up with her, but I'll let her help you first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you her phone number.
Oh, no, now I'm going to go to jail for that. Yeah, I just want to get myself covered.
Yeah.
Thank you. All yours.
Okay.
Thank you. Josh for watch. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
So, I talked to Casey.
Yeah.
And he said, there are no documents,
Responsive to my request?
no documents on policies and procedures regarding on how a public defender is placed on a list for the courts. However, he is going to call the courts and ask for more clarification.
Well, that's interesting because I started at the courts. They have a list. I asked them the same question. They don't know how they have that list that exists. So maybe the new guy down there, the court clerk administrator, the deputy court clerk administrator, Evan, maybe he'll have,
Clarification.
again, yeah, I'll go down there and ask. But yeah, just, it needs to be noted that my records request wasn't responded to properly this time, but it's okay because, yeah, I'd like you to let them know that. But the clerk's office is typically very, very good. I don't have a lot of issues, so it could have just been a misstep in seeing the response in the email. So but I need an answer to this. So I'll go back down here to the courts here and see if I can get that answer. So you could tell him he doesn't have to get on the phone.
Okay.
And if I don't get the answer, I'm gonna come back to the city and do another request.
Okay, and so, yeah, he said he was working on it right now to talk to someone down there if there's more clarification. But right now, there is no documents.
Okay, that's the response. There's there's no policies or procedures on how those are chosen. Okay. I do have one other request I'm gonna do. I would like an official statement.
Let me get this one. My lines. An official statement.
From Sean Lewis or the city manager's office
Okay,
or the city attorney
okay,
on how the UPL investigation against Regan Benson is progressing.
okay.
It would just be like a statement that the general public is interested in, like a PIO response, or
You just want a general statement?
I want an official statement on how that investigation.
Okay, so official statement from Sean Lewis or city attorney on how the UPL investigation against Regan Benson is progressing.
Yep, period.
What else did you say?
That's it. I was just giving you context to it, but that's perfect in writing. And let me write my email down for you, so I can put that on there. Great. Thank you. Do you have more pens for your little box?
Actually, that's my candy box.
It's your what?
My candy.
Oh, it's the candy box. Sorry. Okay.
It's just welcome everyone to the hub.
Nice. And that's the email that you can put on that. Thank you so much.
So you just want them to email you back the response?
Yeah, I'd like an email response on that. I mean, they could always call me too, but I think a statement in writing would be best.
But you'd rather have,
Yeah, I'd rather have a written statement, please.
so it's QUADB2@AOL.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay, so,
Anything else, or you?
no, I think that's good. Maybe I'll pop back up and see if you've got a response, if he's on the phone with the courts. I'll just kind of see how it's going to go. I have a friend down in the courts, so I'm kind of hanging out for a little bit, trying to finish up some business. Thank you very much for your help. Appreciate it. Sorry to catch you when you're so busy.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, here we go. I got puffy eyes from being up for 36 hours, but I'm recovered. Brian Lee, good afternoon. sunny skies here today. Let's go back down and see what's going on with Shannon. We'll talk more about the jail stay. Thanks, David. I appreciate that. Irish Rover. Did I get an ankle monitor? I tried to get the stickers. So the police department, Denver Police Department could monitor my car. They didn't want to give me the damn stickers. So ultimately the one charge that O'Neill and his friends could come up with, once again, the same exact charge that's already been dismissed by the public defender. Unlawful conduct on public property. Okay, Shannon is no longer out here. Oh, is this Evan sitting here? Evan, good morning. How are you? Hey, quick question, because they might be calling you from upstairs. So I had asked the clerks, it's been probably 7 to 10 days ago, what the policies and procedures are for putting public defenders on this list that you guys use.
Oh, like our court-appointed counsel
Right.
that we work with?
Right,
That's a good question.
right, because they didn't know. They said they just have this list.
Yep.
So I went upstairs and I did a records request, and I said, the city, respond to me please on the policies and procedures that are in place, essentially to vet how these, court-appointed counsel firms, individuals get on this list.
Sure.
I didn't get a proper response.
Okay.
They gave me the process of how public defenders are appointed through the courts,
Right.
not my question.
Right.
So I came back today to clarify that, and they still don't know. So they said, well, actually, they didn't say they don't know. They said a document does not exist for
Okay.
policies and procedures on how public defenders are put on that list.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that Englewood doesn't have a process at all.
Well, and because our attorneys are court-appointed private attorneys.
Right.
And unfortunately, I'm not sure of the process either. I can do some looking into it for you, though.
Yeah, I definitely want to get an answer to that because it's consistently a problem. Like today, this guy, he's already a no-show at one court appearance, okay?
Okay.
He's 30 minutes late today to another one. There have been issues in the past on the judge having to remove and reappoint competent counsel. So there are some issues going on here.
Okay.
And the courts need to take a look at it. And because you're new,
Yeah.
since December, you're not aware of all of that. But
Sure,
it's
yeah.
been a
It's
long,
good learning experience for both of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me look and see if I can get some information. I believe I've got your phone number from the previous records requests that we've worked on.
Yeah,
So
great.
if I can get any details or anything, I'm more than happy to share that with you.
yeah, I would,
I'm just not, unfortunately, aware of the process yet.
yeah. Because the clerks, they're the ones though that pick up the phone.
They are, yeah.
And
we
say,
have our
hey,
agreed
we
upon
need-
attorneys, so we follow the rotation based off of who received the last case when we approve court-appointed counsel to be paid by Englewood. And then we just kind of go down our list, and of course, we work with the individuals depending on case loads and availability and stuff like that. But to actually get on the list to us and be including them, I'm not sure that process off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, it's something that definitely needs a good, hard look at.
Yeah, let me look into it and see what we got.
Okay.
And then I can definitely follow up with you.
All right, that's good, Evan, I
Are
really
they
appreciate
still
it.
working, of course, are they still working on something upstairs?
Well, yeah,
for you?
they said
Okay.
that whoever, I don't know who she said he was
Okay.
from the clerk's office, was gonna call the courts
Okay.
for clarification. So I'm assuming that phone
Maybe
call
there's a
would come
call
to
from
you.
me then. Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe we can work on it together and iron out that process.
Okay.
And kind of see where things are at and where we need to.
One
go
of you will
from
get back to me then.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Well, both should.
Okay. Well, I mean, they already kind of didn't respond properly on the request, but
Okay. But it's not a closed request, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It should still be an open request because I responded to it and said, hey, I didn't get proper response here. And Still haven't got a response in writing. Maybe it was missed. It's not an issue because the clerk's office is very good with responding to my stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, let me look into that and I'll get you a call.
Thanks, Evan. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So she's out of the courtroom. So she must be comfortable with what took place. Oh, boy. Got the jokesters over here just tearing it up. Are you done?
No, I gotta do 4 hours community service. $75 fee or 4 hours community service, whichever. That was up to the judge, and yeah. So
Who was the judge today?
Jefferson.
Yeah.
So that's why I just said, okay, fine. It's 4 hours, please. Yeah. Oh, you're lying. They have no body cam. There's no any of that.
There's no body cam.
They're not required because it was before the time.
Yeah, because Ian's a liar.
And they got your fucking subpoena in here. Why the fuck did they subpoena you on this? Because everybody hears your video as evidence, your podcast was going to be your evidence. Pretty much.
So only the live stream was the only evidence they had.
That or, the cops' testimony, I'm sure.
You could have fought this a lot longer
I
and
could,
further,
That's
but
time off work, because,
yeah.
It's worth 4 hours to be done with Englewood.
And luckily Judge Jefferson respects the community service
Yeah, he does.
that my clients do with Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition.
Good.
Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, I wanted to let you know, I'm going to go wait.
So
for
no fines or fees?
Just the fine fee is that they're giving me 4 hours community service to pay that fine off.
And they got to give you a date to return to say that that's done? Is that what
30
you're waiting
days.
for?
I don't think I have to go wait for a date. I know.
Ask them if there's a return date on that.
Okay. I will do that.
Please,
Yes,
so
thank you.
they don't set, and that's not legal advice.
That's not legal advice, that's
That is
opinion.
clerk window
Is her responsibility?
opinion process advice.
Thank you. Look out for me because I don't think. Thank you. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so they don't hem you up with a missed court date. All right, Shannon.
Thank you.
Of course. 4 hours of community service for having committed no crime against another person. I'm gonna have a seat here while we wait for Shannon. Yeah, there we go. I ain't got a single chair anywhere in this great Taj Mahal. I'm sitting in their chair and they're watching me out the window. Yeah, so about the arrest, of course. So I went to District 3 because I had some questions. I wanted to get some stickers. I wanted to follow up on what their process was on Nicole's bike. We talked about that in the live stream. And most importantly, I wanted the information that's supposed to be on the counter for the Office of the Independent Monitor in Denver to file a complaint. My hair's still wet. The Office of the Independent Monitor goes to the district stations and puts that information on the counter. Somebody had gone into District 3 to file a complaint and was given the runaround. And instead of being told that they could file a complaint with the Office of the Independent Monitor, they were told that they needed to call a phone number instead. Well, the phone number wasn't written down for them. So they asked me about it. I asked them what was going on. They told me. So once again, anybody that goes into a district police department to complain is being given the runaround. Like I told you, District 3 has become District 4. These used to be the District 4 problems. Now they're the District 3 problems because the commander is no longer there. Commander Rick Kyle, who is now the chief of administration, who was decent. I mean, he kept things like that under control at District 3, but then he left, and then they brought O'Neill in to work with the homeless outreach, and we saw O'Neill get thoroughly bent out of shape and get caught on video.
Are you just here to mess with us, or are you done with your business? No? You're not even gonna talk back? Are you done with your business in the building? Because if so, we would like for you to leave, please and thank you. So we can continue to do our jobs. I'm gonna take that as a, you have fun.
They just keep putting themselves on display. Isn't it fantastic? So, at any rate, never, Shirley. And Englewood's going to continue to let them do this, you see. This is what they want. Don't engage them, Chunk Squad. Yeah, he's probably going to call the cops over nothing. And they're going to come running. And we'll be long gone by then. Maybe not. That's cool. So at any rate, so I go into District 3 after we had worked on some issues over here in Englewood with All Health, which, by the way, you guys, if you were watching that stream, what did All Health do for Shelley? Well, they called her and gave her a list of things that she can choose from. Didn't go meet with her, didn't make any attempts to get her a case manager, anything like that, to secure what needs to be secured before she has her home taken off the streets. I'm listening down there. Sounds like they're trying to tell somebody they can't go in the library. Oh, maybe that's Dwight. I don't know. You saw Dwight when we came in. He knows how to greet the public. He knows how to work with the public. He knows what's up. All Health makes the public defender list. Well, as you heard Allie say, you know, they're contracted. Now he's filming me. Johnny Bravo, I did not get my inmate handbook. That's another issue, again, at the jail. So that sparked a confrontation with the guy that told me I needed to sign for paperwork that I wasn't receiving. And I told him I was not gonna sign. It's at the intake desk. And once I told him I wasn't gonna sign that, he tried to deny me my phone privileges, and the girl sitting next to him that was doing other intake decided to interject herself and stand up over him. It was very weird. There's these very weird dynamics of these guards in that Denver jail. Not all of them, but some of them. Yeah, she stood up next to him, like hovering with her body, touching behind his chair. He was in the chair, and she was in a chair, and got up and stood behind him. She was a very large woman, and apparently they like that kind of touch with each other. And she told me, "You're done, go sit down." Interesting. Yeah, so there was some interesting things occur in the jail. Never got my inmate handbook. you're supposed to sign that says, I acknowledge that I can have a hard copy of my inmate handbook. I tell everybody to ask for their inmate handbooks when they go into jail so you understand your rights in jail. Nope. Denver is consistently getting this wrong, have been for years. In my last complaint that got botched because they let the complaint drag on long enough that there was no video footage. And so they couldn't substantiate anything I was saying. It was like the last time I was in jail, I wasn't even there. They didn't put me in an isolation cell for almost 7 hours. That never happened. They said that in the report that was done by an investigator assigned by Denver's Department of Public Safety. Yeah, it never happened. And they never denied me use of the phone. Yep, that never happened either. So this time, I'm gonna file another complaint. We'll see how it gets handled. They'll drag it on long enough that there'll be no video footage, but that's gonna be on the Office of the Independent Monitor and the Denver Sheriff's Department and the Denver Department of Public Safety and the Citizen Oversight Board of the Office of the Independent Monitor. So I'm gonna start putting on more pressure about this because this inmate handbook is a big damn deal. So I got access to the inmate handbook on the kiosk at 2 p.m. the next day. I got into that jail at 8 p.m. Yeah. And you only get an hour of out time from your cell to go access the phone, do any bathing that you want to do, and then go read the 100 and some pages of the inmate handbook. You get 1 hour a day to do that, and that's it. So when I got out at 2 o'clock the next day to go make my phone calls, I was on the phone the entire time, of course, but I had a chance to use another kiosk to pull up the inmate handbook as I was on the phone and start scrolling through it. And then I had to hang up a phone call and make another phone call, so I scrolled through it some more. I couldn't possibly read that inmate handbook in the little amount of time that I had. So technically, I never got access to the inmate handbook. I was denied the hard copy of the inmate handbook. I've got a sergeant, what was her name? Oh, she was Largent in charge. Hagen, I think her name was Sergeant Hagen. She's the one that told me, yeah, we had those hard copies. We haven't had those forever because people were flushing them down the toilet and all this stuff. So I don't know why it's on there. I don't know why they still want you to sign. But she didn't have a problem letting that guy tell me I couldn't access the phone or do other things unless I signed for all that paperwork. But then he changed his tune, and then he wrote down my PIN number so I could use the phone. Yeah, they're fuckers over there in that jail. They are big time fuckers over there. Not all of them. There's some great ones in there. There's some people that are really grasping the customer service, treat people humanely and with respect, and have situational awareness of the people that you're dealing with. When I got there at 8 o'clock, it was 7:45-ish, they held me at District 3, handcuffed to a cement bench, out of reach of the toilet and water. At District 3. And they watched me on a camera scream for them to come let me use the toilet. They let that go on for over an hour. So, the whole kidney thing, shouldn't have to reveal all of my medical history and information just because I don't have access to the toilet and water. But they eventually unhandcuffed me so I could have access to the toilet and water at District 3. Which set my kidneys into a not good situation by the time I got to the jail. And then you heard how I was treated in medical. So technically, I could have had a pretty serious medical emergency had I not been advocating for myself. Now, had it been anybody else advocating for themselves like I was, they most likely probably would have been beaten severely and locked in an isolation cell and never checked on. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So that's the scary part about going to jail, and that's why I said to all of you, be brave, go to jail, go figure out what's going on in your jail. I mean, you can certainly have a criminal history and arrest record having never victimized anyone. So take part, civil redress. Used to be a time and day when jail was a place for hardened criminals that had done horrible things to people. That's when jail was what it was supposed to be. That's not what jail is anymore. And you guys, here's the other thing. O'Neill, you got me good. You got me really good. You got me in a cell with a woman who had a case of sleep apnea and very troubled breathing that would keep any other human being awake. I've never witnessed another human being have such difficulty breathing in their sleep while emitting a sound of moving a 5,000-pound filing cabinet across a metal floor. So do that for about 5 or 6 hours while there are 3 other cells with individuals having a total mental health crisis, screaming at the tops of their lungs for hours for help. You guys, it's been a little over a year since I was in that jail, but it is a housing unit that everyone is demanding to get all these people off of the street that don't let them feel safe. It was so bad, you guys. The screaming for hours on end, the crying. The girl in the cell next to me was using her shoe and her fist and her head to bang on the metal sink and the metal toilet. I think at one time she was probably banging her head against the wall. Yeah, it was bad. It was very, very bad. But when they bang on that metal sink and that toilet, it reverberates through the whole jail. Yeah, Joy, it's really happening. Hey, thanks, mods. Got your work cut out for you, huh? You got the people. Good. I'm glad that bitch went to jail. That's where she belongs. Lock her up. Throw away the key. I'm not afraid. I'm just not. And as soon as I saw O'Neill, I knew I was going to jail. He could not wait to have that opportunity to get his hands on me. And if you guys go back and watch that stream, he never asked me to leave. He told me to shut my phone off. I actually went to grab the flyer that little bitch Ingram had given me, the little boy that went and told and got O'Neill to come out and handle his business because it was scary with that woman in that camera. Yeah, he had given me a flyer for the automobile tracking program, and I had sat it right there on the counter. And so I was going to walk out the door as O'Neill was standing in front of me, and he didn't flinch, he didn't stop, nothing. He freaking reached out and yanked that phone right out of my hand. And the second he did that, those two moved in on me. That bitch Padilla, Officer Padilla, was freaking wrenching my arm. I was fully relaxed. Let them do their thing. She fucking ripped my necklace off. She didn't rip it off. She got the latch and let it fling, and my pendant, my stone pendant, that is a very expensive pendant, went flying on the floor, and I was sure that stone was cracked, but it wasn't. That's how nicely handmade that piece of jewelry is, so it's not damaged. But why she was even doing that, I have no clue. What the fuck is she ripping my necklace off for? Never had that one in an arrest. Asking me if you have anything on you, like a bra? Do I look like I have a bra on? Yeah, you can all go watch that live stream. It's still up. It all happened in the last 5 minutes of that live stream. It's not hard to find. How we doing, Shannon? What the hell's the biggest holdup here? Just for some paperwork? Still waiting, Shannon? Huh, okay. Shannon, you might request, I'm just suggesting you might request the minute orders from today for the judge's orders. So you have a copy of that. Hopefully they're gonna give you that. I don't know why this is taking so long. They got another chair out here anywhere? You know, it's so welcoming. Don't come in here and have a seat because we really don't want you here. We want you out of here. And if you have other business in here that you're doing or trying to conduct, you can just stand here and find something to do. I would prefer to sit because my legs are sore. So it sounds like these three goons have called the cops. They're saying the PD should be downstairs. What's the purpose of filming these guards? Because I can. They're sucking up taxpayer dollars, acting like clowns. Yes, that is Allied Security, in case anyone's wondering. And that other guy that's always watching videos on his phone that carries the gun, he's the one telling him, yep, cops are coming. Cops should be here, PD should be downstairs. And then his phone rings. He's like, okay. And then they all split up. It's because they're being watched. They're acting like idiots. And this is what Englewood is using taxpayer dollars for. Yeah, Explorer, so this channel's not for you. Bye-bye. His winter hat in the summer. Yeah, it's keeping him cool. Regan, be fair. They probably act like idiots when they're not being watched. This is their good behavior. Great point, Rain Nation. Great point. Mike, put these guys in a school? No, let's pass on that. Dwight down there engaging with the people. He's a cool dude. He knows how to get it done. So why they have these 3 others, especially that one that's carrying a gun, watching videos, walking around smoking with his shoe untied. There's Ian hiding in his office. Did my friend walk out of here?
No, she's a probation officer.
Oh, is she? Okay. Back in there?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. I wonder what for. Watch, now they're going to tell her she can't do the community service with the nonprofit. Why do these 3 still have a job? Yeah, Aurora, because this is what Englewood wants. They like it. It works on other people when they act like this. And they don't want people in here, especially the homeless or anyone that looks homeless. If you can just say, I'm gonna call the cops on you if you don't state your business. You know, a lot of people are intimidated by that. He looks ashamed. Yeah, he is. This is the one that told me to meet him outside after work. This is the one that calls me Massa. This is the one that gets caught on video down in the parking garage on break trying to claim that they're short-staffed. Daniel Sosa, go ahead, make my day by calling the cops. Nah, Fab Daddy, he needs it more than I do to keep his ass as fat as it is. He needs that chair. Yeah, Rain Nation, that's him. Guess his papa never taught him to not threaten women. Yeah, that's what thugs do. And that's what Allied Security hires.
Stop calling me a thug right now.
I'm not calling you a thug. The people in the chat are calling you a thug. If I want to call you a thug, you'll know I'm calling you a thug.
Before, I appreciate it if you and your people don't do that.
Say that again.
Can you get away, please? I'm definitely not a thug, and I would really like
You're
to-
definitely not a thug? Well, then maybe you should quit acting like one. Because you telling me to meet you outside after you get out of uniform, that's what a thug does. And people saw it. So if you don't want to be called and viewed as a thug, don't act like one.
I've never been arrested. You have though.
So what? I've got like an 8-page arrest history. And it has nothing to do with threatening other people. It has to do with pissing off government.
Eric, the more she calls me a thug, I'm going to engage. I'm not a thug. I don't like that.
It's
I am a young black man that is very civilized. I have not done anything to be ever called a thug. Don't do that. Even to her peoples. Even to all of her peoples that's in her chat. Stop calling me a thug. I'm not one. Please. Please.
And as they go on to say, don't act like one. Thug gang allied security, as per usual. Let the lady have your chair, you thug. All he cares is he got called a thug, but has tried to fight people and call them out. What do we call him? A princess? Those are the other guys that you got into it with out here, and you told them you were going to change your clothes so you could fight them. Remember that? That's all on video too. You don't have very good control of your emotions. You should not have this job, and Allied should fire you. He got his other boy, Alex, over here blowing me kisses as I walked in. And they wonder why they're getting called thugs. Not one time that I've come in this building have you even attempted to do your job and greeted me. The very first time, you followed me around. You made insinuation that I was here to commit violence, and then you didn't like it when it got flipped back around on you. So what did you do? You told me to meet you outside out of your uniform. And from that day forward, this is how you guys act every time I come here. You're like children. You need a mother. You can't even go to work without a mother. As a mother of 3 boys, my God, if my children were raised to act like that, holy shit. They're boys. They're just dumb, young boys, and they're dangerous. And you give them positions of power, and this is how they act. He's making this guy state his business. This is interesting. Shannon's behind closed doors. I don't quite know what's going on in there. I don't like it, though. How long do we have to let this 4-hour community service ordeal drag on? Is there somebody in there with her? Do you know? The public defender.
Probation officers.
The probation officer.
Just went in, it could be a while.
Could be a while for 4 hours, huh? 4 hours of community service. Interesting. I don't like this at all. What could take so long for 4 hours of community service, since you seem to think it's going to take so long?
Anytime you deal with probation officer, nothing is acceptable.
You mean anytime you're dealing with government? Is that what you mean?
You're exactly right.
Okay, thank you.
Multiply it by 3 times.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Thank you. Although she was due in court at 9:30 and her public defender didn't show up till 10, so technically we should have been out of here already. Unprofessional, childish, and rude. Yes, they are. And they got caught on camera, so they want to double down every time I show up. And this is what Englewood wants. Tit for tat is what it's called. The world of how to waste every taxpayer dollar you possibly can. If you act this way towards me, how do you act with the homeless? That's what I'm most curious about. Where are all the chairs and benches at? They don't have any, because they don't want you here. How come you're not calling them massa?
They don't act like you.
How do I act?
A massa.
What does a massa act like? In what ways? Expect you to do your job professionally without threatening me? That's what a massa does?
Yeah.
They bought him a chair and a podium. They should have bought him some manners.
Third floor, I think. Third floor, all the way at the end, elevator to your left, the stairs are to the right. Perfect. No problem.
You can't believe he said that? Yeah, he said it multiple times. He calls me massa every time he sees me now. I guess it's a word in exchange for thug. There you are. Oh, yeah. What was that all about, out of curiosity?
They're not probation, they call it probation, but it's a 4 hours community service, I guess.
Yeah, so your 4 hours of community service, it took him that long to tell you that you have 4 hours of community service?
Give me the information on it and give me all the paperwork on it.
And what, did he say how and who it is to be done with or by?
No, they didn't give me any of that. It's just 4 hours. And if I call her and tell her it's done, then I don't have to appear again. As long as I can give, send her the paperwork or whatever.
Okay, interesting.
So I got a probation officer to make sure I do it.
A probation officer now takes up another half an hour of time
Yeah.
to tell you the same thing that you were already told.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting. So if you're not a thug and you don't want to be called thug, what do you want to be called? What's your name? What's your name? You don't want to be called thug. What's your name? What do you want to be called? Since we owe you the respect first, what do you want to be called? Because I'm going to be here a lot. And if you want this kind of confrontation every time I'm here, it's always going to be on camera. So Decide how you want to be perceived by the general public. You want to be called by your name? Huh? You were calling me Reagan earlier. I told you my name's not Reagan, it's Regan. And my last name is Benson. And you should be calling me Mrs. Benson. Ooh, see, right there. Right there. You've got no manners. You've got no public relations skills. You shouldn't be sitting at a desk where you greet people because you can't do it. You don't know how. Giving me a dirty look because I told you you should be calling me Mrs. Benson. That's called respect. Somebody didn't teach you it. What do you want to be called? You made it clear you're not a thug, so who are you? You know, I'm a mother of 3 boys. I know exactly how to deal with you. You will not intimidate me. You will not make me go away. Okay, that's good. That's a good call. He's got some severe emotional issues that he can't grasp, first of all. Second, he should not be in a position of working with the public. Thanks, mods. Hey, I saw that question. Do her 3 boys want anything to do with her? Absolutely. We're kind of stuck together like that. He's got severe emotional issues, and he's in a position of some kind of authority to tell people what they can and can't do in a building. That's interesting. Okay, now I can sit down again. My legs are a little bit tired for being up for 36 hours. There's some more Allied security. We good to go, lady?
Huh?
We good to go?
Yes, we're good to go, finally.
Do you want to go get something to eat? Do you have time?
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, let's go. You want to do IHOP again?
Huh?
You want to do IHOP again?
Sure, whatever works.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's-
let's do it.
I mean, don't tell.
Well, let's go check it out, see how busy they are,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Remember, service.
Oh, yeah.
It's your last chance. You want to be called by something else besides thug? It's Regan. Whatever, he says. What's your name?
Fabiano.
Fabiano? I'm Regan. Nice to meet you. All right, you guys. Shannon and I are going to go get something to eat now. Anybody have any questions? Bill of Rights. Hey. Ricardo, thank you very much. There's Shannon.
Hi, guys. Yeah, living the dream.
Everybody wants to see Shannon.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I rolled out of bed, didn't do anything else. You can tell.
She looks great. She always does.
Ingrid doesn't.
Nobody does breakfast like IHOP. Well, the service is, we'll see. But yeah, that's
I don't work there anymore. It's just not good anymore.
right.
That's all there is.
If it were served by Shannon, it would be served with love and respect.
Right? You didn't tell me you got subpoenaed on this thing.
So, what does that have to do with your case now? Why are they giving you a copy of the subpoena?
I have no idea. This was what I got for the discovery. This is what they.
Oh, that's what they gave you for
Yeah,
discovery.
that's what I got.
What's the subpoena?
Is the subpoena? It turns out the only evidence they had is when I was on here talking, talking about things that went on that I confessed it on here. Okay.
They couldn't show you that?
They were bring you in to testify on that one.
They were going to bring me in to testify.
They were evidently.
Was that the threat on the?
There was no threat. I asked them what the fuck is that subpoena for Regan, and she has nothing to do with this case. Well, because they didn't have this or that.
So did that guy have anything to say for himself for showing up a half hour late?
I didn't ask him. No, he was there. He was in court. He actually was out there at 9:30.
Oh, he was
there. He gave
there.
me these, and he was on the fucking video court in Arvada.
But he was here?
He was here. He was here. He came
But
out and gave me this.
He was in court in Arvada?
On his
on
computer.
another case?
On the computer, yeah.
So he was here doing business in another courtroom, but he was here. God damn.
Well,
what a
they
trip.
figure if he'd no-showed again, I would have had a fit.
Yeah, what a trip. So he shows up and is still a half an hour late to court because he's in court somewhere
in
else
Arvada.
on video.
Arvada, to be
So
specific.
now you understand what my questions are about how these attorneys get vetted to be put on this list, because if their caseload is too heavy for them to be able to follow through, then they don't need to be paid.
Oh, God.
Oh, here we go. He's screaming to somebody over here, to this girl, that he's a thug. So she's screaming back at him, leaving her kid in the car. Oh, look at, check it out. He's got some backup. He called his girl.
What'd she say?
So he's got some backup.
Oh.
This little girl that she left in the car is yelling out the window. Belongs in the trash can. Wow, Englewood, you're pulling out all the stops. So he started calling me Massa the minute I walked in the door.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what these questions are about the trash can.
Yeah, this little girl. I don't know.
Yeah, what are they telling people? What my charges are? Something? I don't know. That's silly.
She harasses these guys all the time. And she is here inside cursing other people.
He's over there just hollering it up at the door. Wow, Englewood, you're doing a knockout job with your public relations team. Got another kid in the back seat, none of them in car seats. And she's
Yeah.
worried about what I'm doing.
She lacks the commitment to actually sit around and, actually say anything, because she knows that she's just showing off for him.
Oh, he's telling her he loves her.
Oh.
Bye, love you.
Yeah, love is a trick-natured place and you make you reproduce. I hate to break it to you. She don't need no more.
They're up there hiding behind the tree.
Are they?
Jimmy, that's her man. You gotta love it. I told him,
He's baby
just
number
a
two
child.
daddy.
He's just
Baby
a
number
child.
three daddy. Baby number two
Number
daddy?
3
Baby
daddy.
number 3 daddy.
Oh my goodness. He's over there just tearing it up behind the tree.
You called him a thug, and that's the problem?
No, people in the chat were calling him a thug.
Oh.
And he's the one that told me to meet him outside when he got out of uniform. Oh yeah.
Wow.
This kid, he's
what a guy.
He's been something else.
And he works for Allied?
Yeah, this is Allied Security. And the dude, he's over there shooting the shit
I'm
with
gonna
the
be
guy
doing
that
Allied.
has the gun.
I'm going to be working for Allied, so we'll see.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
He's over there with that other idiot that carries a gun here.
Wow.
And they're laughing, and he's poking his head behind the tree.
Peek
you
as
guys?
if you're here.
Yeah.
He's got a bike.
Let's just get this on video
Okay.
one more time,
I'll sit
real
right here.
quick. Yeah, I'll be right back. I just want to make sure it's documented that they stood here and. Now look at him run back inside. Yep. Yep. Well, I sure hope you set yourself apart from those too. And he's carrying a gun. That other dipshit is carrying a gun. True story.
Annie Englewood.
Englewood.
Englewood. We've got that for a
Englewood
while.
has a nickname called Englewood.
Englewood.
All right, you guys. Again, thanks for being in here.
Yay.
We'll talk more about the arrest and all that stuff. Don't worry about it. I'm not
Everybody's
worried about it.
what's going on with you. Oh.
No, they were actually very engaged with what was going on here in Englewood.
Were they? Oh God, what happened?
Not a problem,
I don't wanna know.
and not a problem with this arrest. It'll work its way through. This shit takes time. It's the same charge.
They're afraid to put her in jail. You kidding me? She'd be telling people, you don't got to put up with that shit, and then it'd be all hell.
Well, and that's,
It's
I
the
mean,
truth. It's the truth.
but it was this cop that got his feelings hurt.
Oh, his panties
O'Neill.
were in a bunch.
O'Neill, Sergeant O'Neill at District 3
And
took.
his panties in a bunch.
Yeah,
That fucker. District 3, take them all out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, anyway, it's gonna work through. I'm not even worried about it. I waited for the cops, I guess, as long as we needed to. Well, they told me to call the cops on me.
Okay.
That was the
well,
other thing. He needed me to state my business when I went in there. This is what I'm talking about with this kid. He's out of control.
Wow.
So he told me if I didn't state my business and this and that, he'd call the cops on me. So I told him to call cops.
Where are they?
And so Englewood, and then they came out like children again in
It's
6th
3 blocks
grade.
from here, so
right?
they couldn't get a copy by now. They're not trying.
Yeah, exactly. And so they all stood out here as I filmed them. Yeah, cops are coming. Cops are downstairs.
Like you're afraid of the cops.
Like I'm afraid. They're still getting to know me, these young boys. And yeah, so
Oh, God,
at any
they don't
rate,
even know.
it's always a good time. You
no
never
idea.
know. You never know what's going to happen in a stream. I've said that all along, you guys. I set out to do one thing, and by the end of the stream, Regan's gone to jail. So tune in next time.
Did you at least get the shot of him pulling the panties out of the bush in his butt before you? Before they took you away?
O'Neill, bend over and pull your wad out.
Out of the butt.
No,
Out
the
of
last thing I said to O'Neill as he winked at me
Yeah?
when he wasn't on body cam as they were handcuffing me to the bench.
Wow.
I'm like, are you winking so you can, is that a wink so you can go find a dick to actually fit in your hand? Since your own dick doesn't even fit in your hand.
Too little, is it?
Yep, 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 yep.
The teeny weeny club.
Bye, guys. Mwah.